Hello, everybody. Samuel Young here. So, this has to stop. Honestly, this just has to stop, okay? This is just getting a little boring and a little too much for the internet to handle. So, I just watched a Valsky um video and he removed the 96 or 69, I think it was. I don't really care what number he put. No, the whole internet was for some reason making a big deal out of it, but not me. Okay, not me. But if it's a full name change, then that's a different story. So apparently, Pibby won a Clio, I don't know. It won some type of award that nobody has heard of, but it's for some reason a big deal, kind of like the Oscars. But apparently that Learning with PB won this award.
To my life, but apparently it's a big deal in the world of marketing. The Clios are an annual award show recognizing innovation and creative excellence in advertising, design, and communication, as judged by an international panel of advertising professionals. You may not have seen the name before, but they've been around since the 60s. They're not exactly a new kid on the block. Now hundreds of companies got shiny awards for miscellaneous things, but I know you're here because of Pibby. In the 20...
Yeah, no shit. I mean, these Clio awards may be like extremely special, like an Oscar or whatever, but or an Annie, I think. I think those are rewards for animation. I'm not sure. But still, this is just getting sad, okay? Like, when is the internet actually gonna get what they want? The like actual first like episode of Baby. Like when? Because like the only thing I can predict is that Adult Swim is gonna one day tell us, or some random year, like in the year 2050 or 54, that like after so long that apparently Pibby has been officially rejected after so many Adult Swim fans wanted it to be greenlit. Like I'm telling you, if that actually happens, I bet the whole Adult Swim program is gonna be filled with a bunch of people screaming at Adult Swim on Twitter, being like, you guys made us wait. You guys made like an April Fool's Day prank about Pivy, crossing over other shows and whatever, and then you tell us that you rejected it. Because like when when a show is this takes this long to get greenlit, it's either a sign that the company is not sure if the show's gonna go through, or it's possibly that it got rejected behind closed doors. And then by the time they finally revealed it, they're taking a long time because they don't want the whole internet to riot against them. I bet that April Fool's Day joke was just to hype people up. Like, I'm not even kidding. Okay, because if that's the deal that's gonna happen later in the future, or in like 5 years or 3 years from now, it's just gonna be a whole disaster. Just like the disaster, and I know I'm not critical, but this is something critical would say if he actually was interested in covering this on his channel. But anyways, this is like much more of a disaster than Santa Inc. when they tried to make Santa Inc., if you know what series I'm talking about, an actual like series, making it interesting, when in reality, because how explicit and horrible writing was done into it, the people involved in it just obviously pretended to like to like love the show so much, and that out of nowhere, nobody in the series was actually interested in coming back. Because unfortunately, HBO sadly was ashamed of ever giving it a chance, and now it's no longer on HBO or anywhere on the internet. There's not even any updates as to what even happened to that show. I tried to see if there was even any updates if you watched my video on what happened to that shit of show with Seth Rogen saying something about it being being hated by so many people that Seth Rogen quote unquote called white supremacists, but the whole internet hated it. It was even the lowest stop motion animation show of all time, like in history apparently. And I agree, like I only watched that show on repeat twice and didn't give it a third watch because dude, I had to literally dig to the internet to see if it was funny or not. And honestly, some of the episodes, if you see my other video, kind of made me laugh. And some episodes, they gave me a few giggles and such. Afterwards, it just got boring, and then it just didn't hit the same. It just didn't. And honestly, this is just getting out of nowhere. Okay, like it makes no sense. Like I bet that's what's gonna end up happening with Pibby. Not not that the show's gonna end up being a disaster, but it's gonna be end up being revealed that Adult Swim behind closed doors got rejected, either for no reason. Maybe the show could have gave people nightmares. Maybe the show was a bit too graphic, kind of like Moral how Adult Swim canceled that show because it was too dark. Maybe it's gonna get rejected for the same thing, for learning with Pibby. Or gonna get rejected for being too dark of a plot for a show, maybe. But you never know. Okay. Unlike Santa Inc., not having any updates to see if it had a season 2, just to make sure it doesn't come back ever, since it has extremely low ratings, which I'm pretty sure is going to stick to its one canceled season. Because trust me, there have been other shows that were canceled after just one season of one show. And trust me, to get that type of rarity of your show getting canceled for one episode and one season, your one episode would have to be so low rated that even the company doesn't want another episode released. Like seriously. Like seriously. HBO was so ashamed. I tried to see if the show was still available on HBO Max still, and no it wasn't. But other than Santa Inc., what's happening with learning with Pibby? Like seriously. Like no joke. Like seriously. If this ends up getting rejected, it would it would just get it would just make Twitter and the whole internet just go on a riot on Twitter and the whole social media like 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 riots riot wagon to the point that Adult Swim is just gonna end up sending a tweet probably saying something like even though you guys are mad at the Adult Swim company, we unfortunately are gonna have to stick to our decision to rejecting Learning with PB due to the fact that it's too dark to greenlit. Like I bet that's why they've been making all these April Fools like advertisements with Learning with PB, probably giving us a full-on hint that it's being rejected through closed doors. Like no joke. Like stop hiding it, Adult Swim. Okay, stop hiding it. We all know you're not gonna bring it back. Just like how HBO is hopefully not gonna bring back Santa Inc., which I'm sorry that I'm bringing that show up, but seriously, that show sucked. Honestly, that show sucked. And to any of the actors who actually pretended to love working for that show or watching it, just stop pretending, okay? We all know you hated the show, okay? Not even Seth Rogen and the person that voice acted um Vanellope von Sweets didn't even love it either, okay? Just stop. Like, seriously, stop. And I just realized I've been ranting for a full whatever minute, but let's just keep going in part two. or I can just add in another clip.